So as a business owner, especially if you're operating in the online marketing or the online space rather, you know how important it is to be visible, to get seen, get found by your ideal clients, to build a recognizable brand so that persons can know more about what you do, be able to find out about you, be able to seek you out for your services so that you can continue to do business in an easeful way, right? So visibility is key. That's how you get more exposure, attract more people to you, build an audience, and be able to do the wonderful things that you and your business are doing to help more people. But when we rush into it, or depending on how you approach it, there's some mistakes, some pitfalls that you want to avoid while you're on this track. And usually the hardest part, or the hurdle that we believe that we have to overcome, is getting comfortable on camera, being able to speak about what you do, being able to deliver signature talks. And that's great. And when you get there, that's the place to be, because you want to get comfortable, you want to speak more about what you do so that you can land more speaking engagements and get in front of more people. However, you want to, at the same time, avoid some key mistakes in terms of getting visible so that you can gain more traction in what you're doing, so that your content can land in the right way with your audience, so that you can be more effective. So I'm going to share with you in this live stream 8 mistakes, 8 mistakes that business owners make when it comes to being visible online. Okay, now I'm your online marketing strategist, Stephanie Treasure, and I'm the host of this community where you're watching this live stream. And as you know, I go live every single Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern to deliver strategies that can help you, the small business owner, especially in my following, which consists of coaches, consultants, and service-based business owners, especially if you're operating in the online marketing space, but of course, in the online space. But of course, I do attract persons to me who are doing business offline as well, as I've done myself in the past. Welcome to this live stream. I'm really happy that you're here. There's some of you that have been following me for some time that, you have a calendar appointment that is set for every week at 11 a.m. If you are new to me and you don't already do that, please do so, because this will be specifically pointed and timely for you if you are a business owner, specifically if you're a coach, consultant, or service-based business owner. And I go here, I share marketing strategies. When I go live, I share business strategies, productivity strategies, some mindset strategies as well, based on what I've learned through the years, what I have experienced myself when I'm teaching my clients, what I've observed in terms of trends, in terms of what's working and what's not working. And today's one of those live streams where I'm going to be sharing with you what doesn't work so well as relates to visibility, so that you can take from this what applies to you, or what any of these pitfalls that you may have been making or thinking of making, and be able to avoid them and short circuit your track to getting more visible, getting seen, getting known, standing out as a leader, as an expert in your niche, so that you can bring in more of your ideal clients and enroll those who are a fit into your programs and do your part to make a difference in the world. So if you can get excited about that, go ahead and comment below with your favorite GIF or emoji. And as I go through, if any of these points resonate with you, go ahead and comment below. Repeat that point, or add a comment to what I'm saying, or ask a question, and really interact with me on this, because when you listen in passive mode, and as well as I know that if some of you are busy, so you may have me open in another window or be listening on your phone, so I understand. But if you can just chime in a little bit, not just because I want to see your comments, but because really giving credence to what I say here makes it more real when you take notes on something, even if it's electronic notes, by typing in the comments here what resonates with you, or what mistake you plan to avoid, or what you plan to do differently. It makes it real to your mind, to your brain, so that you can really internalize what you learn here and apply it to what you're doing in your business, and in this case, as it relates to your visibility efforts. All right, so go ahead and comment below. And also, I'd like to know, as you join me each week, I'd like to know where people are logging in from. Whereabouts in the world are you located? So go ahead, and I think I have another timer set on this phone. So go ahead and comment below and let me know where you're logging in from, and share with me also what you do. I'd like to hear about the work that you're doing with your business. All right, great. So let's jump in. Again, I'm going to be sharing with you the 8 mistakes that business owners make when trying to get visible online. Okay. So I'm going to start off, I'm going to jump right in. The first mistake that business owners make when trying to get visible online is that they start doing videos and posts and live streams and all the posts before they have an audience, right? And this is if you're just starting out and really working to get a visibility strategy going, possibly having ignored it or ignored this piece of your business or shied away from this piece of your business for some time, and you're ready to go to get more visible right now, but you don't have an audience. Okay, this is what I see. Or if you have been you have an audience, but you haven't been visible for a while. And then when you start getting visible, you don't try to get that initial audience paying attention at first, right? So here's what I mean. You need to, if you're looking to get visible on your own social media platforms, right? Because we all have a platform here, at least on social media. Even if you don't have a website, you most likely have a presence on social media. But so you would have built one for your business, built one, for yourself, for your own brand, but you haven't gathered anyone there or tried to gather anybody there in any meaningful way, right? So you don't have an audience at all. And the thing is that you need to have some amount of followers, some persons following you. It doesn't have to be, nobody starts off with 10,000 followers on their profile, either one, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, or something, or even 1,000, right? You don't necessarily have to wait until you hit those milestone figures before you start getting visible on your own platform. But it pays to have some persons following you, right? Inviting your core group, which, because you're building up that platform, it's going to be people that are already known to you. So sharing with past colleagues, friends, acquaintances that you're building this brand, you're doing this thing, and you are you've set up a place for this to be housed. You've created this Facebook page, you've created this Instagram profile, and you start gathering persons there very organically, sharing them what you're about and what you have to do. Or if you've switched gears, you re-invite or re-engage the persons that are already following you and let them know that you've switched directions. This is what you're doing right now, and you'd love for them to come by, go, see you possibly would have changed your cover photo, your about section, and you're inviting them to see what you're all about, where you're headed right now. As you get ready to, you're going to be putting out content, sharing tips and resources, possibly hosting some events, some live streams over the next few weeks and months. And you'd love for them to engage with you, invite a friend or two to follow you, that to join them, that may be interested in what you have to say or have to offer, or your new direction, so that you have that initial audience, you have a core group that will be receptive to the content that you will be putting out, as you're going to restart your visibility, your visibility game, or you're going to start getting more visible online, right? So you need to have some kind of an audience following you as you look to get visible. So you need to have that core following already there, or start gathering those people there. As you're now going to even welcome through your efforts, you're going to start welcoming cold traffic who will see that content already there. Not that you're creating the content for them. When they come, you're going to be getting visible and creating content right away, but you want to still have some kind of a core content, core audience in place while you do that. All right. So that's one mistake that I see business owners make when trying to get visible online. If that sounds like something that resonates with you, go ahead and comment below with the number 1. All right. The second mistake that I see people make when it comes to being visible online is that they focus on vanity numbers and not on engagement. They focus on vanity numbers and not on engagement. A little different from number 1, right? So here's what I mean. I find people focusing on the likes, how many likes does a post have, or the number of followers. So even though I said it in point number 1 that you need to have an audience, and you're going to be building an audience, and yes, you're going to be tracking your metrics, you don't want to be too focused on it that you start bringing people that are not even targeted or interested in what you have to offer. You get to a point where you're obsessed with, I need to get, to 1,000, or I need to have, or need to get to 10,000, I need to get to 40,000 people. I need to get, all these number of likes on my post. Why is nobody liking? What you want to focus on more is organic engagement, sharing your content with persons and asking for their viewpoint, sharing that this is a resource that can help them and you made it and you'd love for them to check it out because you really feel that it actually will help them, right? And naturally the engagement will come, right? The engagement piece is what will have your content showing more to the persons who are interested and engaged with the content and the work that you do, right? So you want to focus on the engagement, and the engagement piece too can be something that people view as some kind of a vanity metric. But I'm talking about real engagement by persons who have tuned in, who have read your posts, watched a video or a live stream and really have found it valuable. And because you're interacting, because of what you're sharing, and they really feel moved to give their comment or feedback. And again, you can ask for this. It's quite genuine to share your content with somebody and say, go ahead and check this out. And I'd love to hear your feedback. Comment below if there's something that resonates for you, or if you've had a similar thing happen to you, a similar experience. I'd love to hear what you think, genuinely, right? But that's more important than the vanity numbers, the vanity metrics, and trying to have something go viral, okay? If it is gonna go viral, it will be because you delivered good content. So, that's something that you should be focusing on, the value that you're bringing to the table. So that's mistake number 2, focusing on vanity numbers and not on engagement, right? The third mistake that I see business owners make when trying to get more visible online is that they don't know their niche. So their messaging doesn't activate their target audience, right? There's persons who are seasoned business owners that have kind of changed their positioning, kind of changed what they're offering, kind of changed their messaging, or their audience, their target audience may have shifted a little bit, but they're speaking to their audience, they're speaking on their platforms in a way that doesn't connect with the people that they have brought in. There's a disconnect there. This can happen if you are list building, if you are doing all kinds of things, you have many visibility and exposure opportunities, and you're bringing in all kinds of different people that are at different phases in their business, or they're possibly not your target audience, depending on the kind of visibility activities that you've been doing. And it could happen to you as well if you are newer and you're not quite sure, you're not clear on your niche or your messaging or your positioning. It could happen to you if you are switching, you've actively changed things up. You have you're focusing on a different segment of the market than you were before, then your old messaging won't fit in this new scenario, right? But what happens at the end is that you're not connecting with your audience and your niche. So they don't hear you. They don't really tune in. They don't really connect with your content. It doesn't make sense to them. It doesn't hit home to them, right? And so you may be putting out great content, but it's not for them, not for the people that are gathered on your platform, that are in your audience, right? And it doesn't land anywhere. It doesn't connect. It doesn't, spur engagement. It doesn't inspire action to follow you or stay tuned in or sign up for any of your programs, right? So this piece in terms of getting clear on your niche and your messaging is something that you should do often, right? Take a pulse on who's in your audience and what they're tuned into, why they're following you, what makes sense to them, what they're looking to hear more of, what's important to them, which piece is their pain point, right? You may be really clear on what you're delivering and the service that you provide, but you're unclear on the pain points that your audience resonates with. And so even though you have the solution for the audience that you have gathered, you're not talking to the pain points in a way that makes sense to them. And so they don't tune in, they don't take action, they're not inspired, they don't, they lose interest, and they may seek solution from someone else who offers the same kind of service that you provide, but the messaging that that person is delivering connects more with your audience. Does that make sense? Go ahead and comment below. That's number 3 rather. If that makes sense, let me hear from you in the comments section below. All right. So number 4, in terms of the 8 mistakes business owners make when trying to get visible online, is that they use tactics from 17 or several different sources, right? Copying experts in their niche from free masterclasses and Google searches that they've done, right? So they use these tactics from all these different sources that they've kind of pieced together, right? Without any real or focused strategy. And this comes from, usually what I find, this comes from doubt, somebody who's unsure of themselves, somebody who is unclear about strategies, marketing strategies or visibility strategies that works to get them more exposure, to attract their audience, to inspire and educate their audience and move them into their programs, right? So when you're unsure, you're going to Google something, or you're going to sign up for all the classes, you're going the master classes, you're going to sign up for all the webinars, you're going to read all the various guides, right? And if you're in research mode, it's fine to do that. But then you have to sit down and formulate a real strategy that makes sense for you. Because pulling from here and there and from all of these different sources, right, may not do you justice if it doesn't come together as a cohesive strategy to attract more people, to get more visible, to stand out as a leader. And it comes from being clear on what you need to do to bring in your audience, what makes sense for you, what makes sense for your programs, and what will resonate with your audience. And you're going to get that usually from studying with one person, right? Being supported by somebody who has done visibility in a way that has been successful for them. And it's a way that you want to learn to apply to your business as well. So I find that the persons who usually do these piecemeal, piecemeal taking strategies from here and there are persons who are not supported by a coach. So one of the best things that you can do for yourself is to get support from a proven mentor as relates to the visibility piece, and then formulate your strategy from there that you're going to implement to reach more of your people, to deliver and build a brand, a recognizable brand, in a way that positions you as an expert, as a leader, and as an authority in your niche, right? You want to use a very focused, deliberate strategy to do that, not hacking all these different things from all these different places and sources and other persons that mashed together like that does not make sense or is not effective. Make sense? All right. So I'm at number 4, halfway through. Let me know what your biggest takeaway is so far. Go ahead and comment below and share with me what really rang true from what I shared with you with the 4 mistakes that business owners make so far. Okay. So I'm going to continue. 8 mistakes business owners make when trying to get visible online. Number 5 is that they rely on their own social media platforms where their own followers are gathered and not give any attention or not have any strategy for getting on other stages so that they can reach new audiences. So if you notice, even with these strategies that I shared so far, it was as it relates to your own platforms, because you definitely want to have presence there. That's your hub, that's your home on the internet. But you should be looking to get visible on other stages so that you can bring in more of your target audience. Because you should be continually seeking to grow your audience, right? So you want to get to a point where you are actively speaking on real and virtual stages. You actively have appearances on the platforms of other colleagues so that you can widen your reach, widen your exposure, get more visible, and be recognized as the expert as you continue to build your brand. Recognized as the expert in more places where you can attract more people and grow your audience, right? As you look to bring that audience on your own platform, right? So don't rely just on your social media platforms. That's great. And you definitely want to focus on a presence there. But you also have to grow past those core people that you would have brought in organically or other means if you invested in Facebook ads. You want to continue to grow your platforms, widen your reach. And you're going to do that by appearing on other stages besides your own. Okay? And number 6 mistake that business owners make when trying to get visible online is that they don't have a strategy to capture leads. So getting visible is important, right? Building that recognizable brand is important, but you want to be capturing leads as well, right? You want to bring those people on or in your space in a meaningful way so that even after that initial exposure to you, wherever you would have appeared, that they continue to hear from you in a meaningful way so that you can deepen those connections and move them along through your client journey, right? Or your customer journey. So you want to capture leads. You should, while you're doing these various visibility efforts, you want to be able to build an email list, build your following, right? Bringing those people onto your Facebook page and in your Facebook group in a very meaningful way, right? So you have to be capturing leads. Let me check something here. All right, so number 7, they get stuck on perfection and aiming for the big stages and publicity spots while ignoring small but high impact opportunities to build their exposure. Okay, so of course we want to be on the big stages. We want to keynote. We want to do all these things. We want to appear on the biggest podcasts that are getting hundreds of thousands of viewers, right? But it takes time sometimes to get there, right? And there's some very small opportunities to speak and get exposure for your brand that are small but high impact. And what I mean is, when I say high impact, is that it puts you front and center in front of groups that there are persons among that group that are really tuned into what you have to offer. Because at the end of the day, here we're business owners and we're trying to get more reach so that we can help more people, right? The more persons that know about your business, the more people that know about the magic that you bring to the table when you work with your clients, and the more people that will want to work with you, right? And you can do that, small group at a time. It doesn't have to be those big speaking engagements. Don't ignore the small ones on the way towards those big ones, because the other thing too is that these podcast hosts of these popular places, or people that will want to have you keynote or deliver at their events, they want to know that you have some experience. They want to see how you've delivered in the past. They want to know the feedback from persons who have engaged you for speaking engagements, who can give you testimonials that you can bring to the table when you're pitching for those bigger opportunities. Right? So don't get stuck on perfection. What you do doesn't have to be perfect. And, in terms of the visibility piece, you can show up naturally without aiming for perfection. And you don't have to, or rather you're not going to be landing the big stage and the theater like exposure where you have a room filled with hundreds or thousands of entrepreneurs. Those opportunities won't necessarily come right away, right? But you can get there, but don't get stuck because you feel that you can't be visible if you don't land those opportunities, right? So that's number 7. And then number 8 is that they give up if they don't see results right away. So the visibility game or strategy is a long-term game. It's a marathon game. You have to be in this for the long haul. And results vary, right? Or results they don't come screaming at you to say, oh, because you were visible today, this is what happened. Not necessarily, not all the time. That can happen, but sometimes it just takes, you have to do be consistent, appearing on your own platform, speaking for small groups, sometimes speaking for big groups, putting your value content out there that may not get a like, that may not get an engagement, but doing those things, the compound effect and the consistent effect of that is what will yield the results. And those results can look like persons inquiring, persons taking your call to action, persons completing your intake form on your website if you have an intake form for consultations, person completing the contact form, persons looking for your email and contacting you some way, sending you a private message, asking how you work with people, signing up for that program that you're launching. All these different ways results can come, but it's not going to come from these drop in the bucket methods or once a while efforts. It's not going to come overnight. It's a consistent game or strategy that should be happening in your business at all times, even when it appears that it's happening towards or for what seems like an audience of crickets, right? So those are the 8 mistakes that I see business owners make when trying to get visible online. Now, visibility is something that's important to me. I've been focused on visibility from the very beginning of my business. I made a name for myself and my brand, and that was able to land me several clients early on and consistently in my business. And I want that for you. Right now, you may have heard that I'm launching the Visibility Impact and Profit Accelerator program. And this is a program where I'm going to be supporting you to up-level your influence, right? That's the visibility piece where you're really seen as an influencer. Yes, You can be known as an influencer, as a leader, as an authority, and as an expert in your niche. As you get more visible, attract those high impact opportunities to speak in front of your audience and bring in more ideal clients. So you'll be learning, or you'll be supported by me to up level your influence, increase your income, and make a bigger impact in the world. This is a 6-month container where you have a full out curriculum that teaches you everything from the clarity piece on your niche, your messaging, and your positioning, through to the visibility piece, relationship marketing as you deepen the relationship with the audience that you're bringing in, list building to bring in more of an audience, the sales piece, and of course your business vision or your marketing plan of how you plan to achieve your revenue goals, as well as other key targets in your business that you're looking to get to the milestone level in. This program right now, like I said, is in launch mode. It's 6 months where you're being supported by weekly calls, monthly challenges, monthly guest experts that I'm bringing in to enhance your experience in this program, and so much more. You get my high touch support in a private group that's very interactive. And we're also going to be doing a big event that will help you to be more visible, as you're going to be featured in that event, hosted by me in an interview style panel interview style feature. And you'll be able to use that footage for your own as you move on to other things, and be able to show how you were in this event, this live stream event that I'm going to be hosting in the program. So it's packed full of support and implementation, specifically because I want to have you implementing what you learned so that you can see results in the program, like bringing on your next 3 to 5 or more clients, filling a group program, executing launches that bring in more of those ideal clients that you're looking to work with, being involved in other visibility opportunities that puts you in front of more people, growing your list by the hundreds or more. These are some of the things that you're going to be supported with implementing inside of this program. So if you are looking to take things to the next level, you're not quite sure how, you don't have support, you're doing some strategies that you're not even quite sure works, you're not getting visible in a meaningful way, and you're not seeing the results of that visibility, whatever efforts you are doing in terms of bringing on a targeted audience, or growing a targeted audience and bringing on more clients. This is a place that you need to be in the Visibility, Impact, and Profit Accelerator program. Now, I'm going to leave a link here in this caption for you to check out the details. And then once you've moved through, you'll see some frequently asked questions that I answer below that I may not have covered here today, or that you wanted some deeper explanation on. If all your questions are not answered there, reach out to me and let me know what your questions are regarding the program, and I'll get them answered for you. I want you to be fully supported to make the decision that's right for you, to get you into this container so that you can totally transform the way that you do business and experience more of those results that are on your vision board, achieve more of those milestones that you've been trying to get to, but it's been taking a little bit longer than you'd like, or you haven't been gaining the traction that you'd like. You've been doing business alone for some time, or you have worked with coaches continuously, and you want to keep that going because you know that once you have support, once you're supported by persons who are achieving the success that you'd like to achieve, you're able to make more movements in your business, more upward movements. You're able to shorten the learning curve and be able to achieve those milestones and those goals faster, right? So go ahead and take a look at the link, then reach out to me to get your questions answered, and then I'd love to welcome you in the program. There's a couple of bonuses that are time sensitive. As I'm recording this, I only have 2 spots left for the bonus, which is a one-on-one strategy session with me, where we're going to sit down together and look at what you're trying to achieve and map out your plan as to what you need to focus on to either fill your private coaching spots or to bring on your next 100 to 500 or more leads, persons on your email list, what you need to do to get more visible as you look to build a recognizable brand and be a force to reckon with in your niche, right? We map out your strategy for that, and I'll point you to the areas of the curriculum that makes sense for you in terms of what you need to focus on in order to achieve your goals, right? So I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for joining me on this live stream, and I'll see you on the inside of the program, or I'll see you on the next live stream. Bye.